Hey, this video is a little bit late today. I normally load these up on a Tuesday morning, Central African time. It's a little bit late, and that's because you probably don't know, but I've started a new hosting gig. So I am now hosting a Metal State again for the next few months. But also, the reason that this took so long is, despite the fact that I was up really late last night on a Twitch stream, is that we were only announcing the Valkyrie Challenge this morning, and I've been so obsessed with this that it meant that I just didn't have time yesterday to film. So I'm doing that now for you. And if you're going, wait, what is the Valkyrie Challenge? Never fear, I'll show you. This is it.
The first organization to offer a six-figure prize pool for one single esports title in South Africa.
The first custom-built esports studio in South Africa.
One of the first female esports broadcasters in South Africa. This is what happens when they join forces.
Two world-class all-female CSGO teams. One match, 50,000 Rand, winner takes all. Live from the EveTech studios.
5 August, we make history. Only on Metal State, forging the future of pro gaming.
That is the Valkyrie Challenge, and I wanted to do this video because there's actually so much that I want to tell you about this challenge to help you understand. So a little bit of background. I got into esports many years ago supporting my brother, but I actually only got into the broadcast side of it last year when EveTech hosted the EveTech Champions League, and they were the first organization to give me my first hosting gig, which was really, really exciting. They took a chance on me, and from there they've really just become like my second family. They've always supported me, they've always got behind me, and they then proceeded to sponsor my YouTube channel, which is why I can make cool videos. EveTech is family. And Metal State gave me the opportunity to panel host the Samsung Galaxy CSGO Championship. I knew about Metal State before it was launched. I got to see the studio, and Metal State really is my home, especially when it comes to South African esports. I'm at home there, and I'm really involved in what they do because I believe in this great idea that they have to just improve South African esports and put it on the map. That's where EveTech and Metal State come in. They are my family. I consider them family. And I did Acer for Gaming a couple of months ago, you'll remember. And before Acer for Gaming, before the Girl Gaming Night, I had a dream to have an all-girl CSGO Invitational. I got to interview Amaryllis Gaming, the first all-female MGO last year, just before Rage, and they just inspired me because I wanted to be able to give back to them and find something cool for them to do. Then Energy Esports announced Finesse earlier this year, and this dream that I had to do a feature with 2 all-female CSGO teams became a reality, and I became obsessed with it. It was before Acer for Gaming, believe it or not, and in fact, I was taking this idea and pitching it to major brands, because to run an event like this you need sponsorship. So you need to pay for production, you need to pay for broadcast staff, you've got to fly the players up because they live all around the country, you've got to pay for accommodation. I needed to get those costs covered. I pitched this idea to so many brands, and so many of them said thanks, but no thanks. In fact, all of them did. And I became so despondent because this was something I really wanted to do. I've spoken about it in the media so many times, and I've sort of always said, I think that the smartest thing for us to do would be to put an all-girl team together, because we do have some of the best players in the world. I mentioned one of them, she's one. We put all our resources as a scene behind them, send them to one of these invitationals, get them to win, because we know we can. They can. But that was me on SAFM talking about this great idea that I had to get an all-female team overseas. Despite so many brands saying no, despite not having the budget, I carried on with this idea. And I actually was pushing to try and get an invite to an Intel Extreme Challenge, which is an all-female CSGO invitational at the Intel Extreme Masters. But I was just hitting wall after wall after wall. I'd sat down with the Metal State crew when we were planning for the rest of the year, and I mentioned to them how frustrated I was that I just couldn't get this idea and make it into reality, and I didn't know what to do. So we started having a long conversation about how we could potentially make this happen, and we were talking about doing an online competition. But while we were having that conversation, I was talking to EveTech and telling them about this idea and how frustrated I was, and straight away EveTech said, well, we have the studio space, it's there, it's set up and it's specifically designed so that you don't have to bring in extra cameras and lighting. It is a studio, and that means that the production cost would be less, because if we went to another venue we would have to set up an actual production setup, and that costs money. And that was literally it. That was how the Valkyrie Challenge came to be. It was Metal State said, cool, we're in. EveTech said, the space is yours. We had a meeting, and I think a lot of people don't realize, we announced today, but we had that meeting a week and a half ago. It was a week and a half where we were like, cool, we're gonna just make this happen. And just like that, everyone just came together and was like, boom, let's do this. And that's what we got to announce, the Valkyrie Challenge. It's the dream that I've had, this amazing idea that I believe will be super successful, and it's gonna come to life on the 5th of August. And what's better is that you can come through to the studio if you're in Johannesburg or Gauteng, and you'll be able to, we're gonna open the doors 2 hours before. Everyone can just come for 2 hours, play some games, jam, eat some food, and then they can watch some epic CSGO. And if you can't make it to the EveTech studio, you'll be able to watch the game online on twitch.tv/MetalState. And everyone just came together and was like, we're gonna make this cool. And it is the first Saturday of August. August is Women's Month, so this is an opportunity to celebrate women, which is something I'm passionate about as well. I'm just so excited to make this a reality and make this thing happen, because it's something that I've wanted for so long, and this idea that I've been sitting on forever. I'm so excited for the Valkyrie Challenge. I want you to come through. I want you to join us. It's just gonna be amazing, and I'm excited to see this whole thing come to life. If you're gonna be there or you want tickets, let me know in the comments below. I'm gonna try and make a plan for you, or alternatively, just give it some love, because I think that the more love that this gets, the more people will see that this is the future of gaming. This is how we forge the future of professional gaming. Enough with my ramble. I gotta go and do some serious work now, because we literally have like 2 weeks to make this happen. If you like this video, please don't forget to hit subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and also share it all over the internet. Let's make the Valkyrie Challenge a huge thing in South African gaming. And I couldn't do this without you. Your support, your love. You're the real MVP.